Hey everyone, welcome back to Pilgrim Wanderings. Today the question is, does the Bronco live up to the hype? Stay tuned. We'll give you our first impressions. To say that the new Ford Bronco is hyped and highly anticipated really is an understatement. Those of us that have ordered them and those that are even mildly interested in the Bronco, seeing the resurgence or the rebirth of the Bronco, have been waiting long before when it was announced last July. Ford is currently conducting a rollout, basically a road show with Broncos across the nation at various dealerships. And a few weeks ago, I was able to view, touch, sit in, measure, gawk over, what have you, everything except for ride in or drive the new Ford Bronco. We want to thank Sheehy Ford in Richmond, Virginia, for their kindness in hosting the event. And we got a little swag. We got a hat and a little carabiner with Bronco on it. Nice hat. So we are really thankful for that and thankful to Sheehy Ford. Even though I didn't order my Bronco through Sheehy Ford, we really appreciate it. So here goes. We're going to talk about the Bronco and our first impressions of the Bronco. What is the bluff? What is the bottom line up front? It is worth the wait. Wow, that's my first impression. Um, I have seen many pictures. I've seen some very good video uh, to this point from King of the Hammers, training various things, the Moab videos and the ride-alongs, heard the description, but just seeing it, touching it, experiencing it, it has only raised my expectations higher. So that's the bottom line up front. Here again, I want to review my criteria because everything that I'm saying is based upon my criteria for a vehicle. My criteria is this. Four-wheel drive vehicle, proper four-wheel drive with a two-speed transfer case and at least a rear locking differential, a rugged appearance, the latest safety and technological upgrades, as well as the ability to daily drive it. It's very important for me to daily drive it. So that's my criteria, and that's what I base my impressions in my purchase of the Bronco on. So, what Broncos were there? There were two Broncos, and it looks like across the country they're doing two Broncos. And the one that I'm going to share some pictures of, most of were a black diamond with a Sasquatch, four-door, in antimatter blue color, and with a soft top. Both of them had a soft top. The second one was, which I spent 90% of my time with, was the Badlands version, non-Sasquatch, four-door. That one had the manual. The Black Diamond had the automatic transmission, and you'll see some pictures of each one. The Black Diamond was a four-door as well. It was in iconic silver. So we're going to show some of the pictures from that, as well as some other photos in this video with you. Next item, in looking at the first impressions, style and stance. What is the style of it? What is the stance of this vehicle? Three words: classy, confident, and capable. What do you mean by classy? It has styling cues from the original Bronco, which are clearly evident. It has almost a statuesque stance to it and a style. It is very squared off, as most of these vehicles in this category are. So that gives it a confident appearance. And you can see when you look at it immediately, this thing is capable. It's built to be capable, to do work, to go where you need it to go. So I'm going to break down the next category of my impressions is the exterior. Now, as I think of the exterior, I want to think about it from looking at it from the front. Looking at it from the front, there is this very full and almost imposing look that you get. Not imposing in a sinister way, not the angry eyes from the Jeep, thank you, but kind of just a very confident, assertive, capable appearance to it. As well, it is very minimal with a classic yet a modern feel. Okay, you get the old styling cues, but you also get the fact that this is a modern vehicle. The sides and the back, though, really begin to reveal that utilitarian nature of the Bronco, and the front too, with the trail sights and various things in the modular bumper. But you really see it in the sides, in the pull-off fenders, in the spare tire, in the swing gate. You see the utilitarian nature of it coming. So from the exterior, those are the things that really impressed me. Then looking at the interior, three words for the interior for me is minimal, practical, functional. Minimal, practical, functional. Um, Really looking at it from the front seat area, to me, is more like a cockpit. It really is designed so the driver can reach everything he needs to access right away. It's functional and it's very well laid out. You'll see pictures of the hero switches on the dash for the differentials and the sway bar disconnect, as well as the traction control and the trail turn assist. You'll see the auxiliary switches above. You'll see the goat mode down in the console by the gear shifter, the goat mode layout. So it's very well laid out for the driver. The front seats felt just as good as my Volvo uh, uh, XC60 seats, which are excellent seats, the best seats I've ever had in a vehicle. And to say that they felt just as good is a lot. Now, that's without a road trip, okay? So we'll see how they feel after a road trip. But very good. The rear seat area is roomy and open. The marine gray vinyl seats felt very soft to me, but durable and almost cool to the touch. More like a soft leather, but durable and almost uh, but better than any vinyl seat I've ever experienced in a vehicle, by far. The cargo area really maximizes the space very well. The sides are pushed out as far as they can, it looks like. The swing gate opening is extremely wide. There's a detent at 90 degrees, but it goes well beyond that, I think to about 150 degrees. I was very surprised at how wide the swing gate went. So those are my impressions about the exterior and interior. What do I see as the pros? This is a very good balance between design and functionality. Really, form and function, I think, go well here. This is a vehicular multi-tool, and every space and component seems to contribute to its utility. I feel like the integration between technology and hardware is very present there. It's very well integrated. The software seems to make full utilization of that drivetrain uh, in a in a way, and really in and around the GOAT modes that we'll talk about later in another video. Um, what would be the cons? Okay, if we got to talk about cons at this point, I'm pretty hyped up as we all are, but there will be some cons. Really, the cons are the unknowns. We don't know about reliability. We don't know about durability. Um, Aesthetically and for practicality's sake, uh, I wouldn't say get the soft top. After seeing the soft top, I'm not a soft top person, but if I were anyone, I would recommend them buy the hard top and then buy an aftermarket soft top. Um, so I'm also going to share with you my wife and my daughter's impressions. So they were there with me. Really appreciate them being there. And really, what they had to say was it's nice looking. They like the appearance, symmetrical, um, accessible and comfortable. And I'll mention that specifically my daughter, who's ridden with us in a Jeep Wrangler and ridden in the back seat a lot. She spent some time sitting in this back seat, and she said it's by far more comfortable. There's much more room for her, and it just felt better. So just some impressions there from my wife and my daughter. Um, so everybody's comparing this vehicle to a Wrangler, right? Everybody's saying Ford just copied Jeep's Wrangler. Well, I really see it after looking at it in person that it's a night and day difference, really in these areas: system integration, accessibility, and comfort. You're going on accessibility and comfort back to what my wife and daughter had to say. Um, it may appear like a Wrangler in configuration, but the Bronco really differentiates itself immediately when you begin to look at it and get below the surface. The Wrangler, in comparison, in my opinion, and I don't own a Wrangler, okay, and haven't owned a Wrangler, though I've driven a Wrangler several occasions, but the Wrangler in comparison is instantly antiquated. It's tight, and the space isn't used near as efficiently as the Bronco is doing. This is not a one-up on a Wrangler. Really, I see this as an interpretation, a reinterpretation of what a four-wheel drive off-road vehicle can be. So what are my conclusions? Really, I see the elements of three significant vehicles, off-road vehicles: the Wrangler, the 4Runner, and the Land Rover, and others as well. And I'm sure they benchmarked all of these vehicles. If that's just smart for Ford to do. All manufacturers do that. It has a similar appearance to the Wrangler. Um, uh, the independent front suspension and daily drivability of the 4Runner, and the off-road technological integration of the new Land Rover Defender. I'll say the new Land Rover Defender. The Bronco makes use of everything that is available right now without having to bow, and I'm going to say this, to the technological gods of the past. Okay, and you can figure that out. Maybe you know what I mean there. We'll talk more about that later. Okay, that might get me some blowback or flack there, but it's my honest opinion. Um, as someone that really wanted to buy a Jeep Wrangler, that's my honest opinion. And a 4Runner. I'm poised if something were to go wrong. 4Runner's my next choice. Um, really, this Bronco is a big promise from Ford, and a big promise demands big follow through. That's how I see it. Ford must remain, I think, focused for years to come to really reestablish the Bronco and keep it competitive. Uh, and from all that I see, I think they're committed to doing this. We'll talk more about what they're doing, but I think they're ready to do it. So, what's my takeaway? Saddle up. It's going to be a wild ride. Okay, thanks for joining us today and sharing in our first impressions. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are about the Bronco. And if you've seen the Bronco, what are your first impressions? And do you have one ordered? So let us know in the comments below. We're looking forward to hearing more from you. Again, thanks. Remember to like and subscribe if you like it. And we'll see you next week. God bless. And remember, ramble with a purpose.